Hello everybody and welcome to the Learn Dota 2 League, Season 14. It's not 13, that's a lie up there. Season 14, Week 1. We got Attack on Elder Titan, we got Ganker x Ganker. We got the Doctor of Dota, Randy.
Hello, yes.
And we got the something else of Dota, Katie.
I am also here.
I'll be adjusting the volume a little bit as this stream version of this goes on, and then, you know, gotta see how it goes. Things have changed from the audio side since Season 13, so...
Doing support bins. That's fun.
Got some support bands coming out here. One other thing I should mention before we go into the actual game. One, we have a stand-in on Attack on Elder Titan, that's the Iceman team. We got Manoy standing in over, who is he standing in over, actually? Mr. Fishay. He's standing in over Mr. Fishay.
But apparently not.
No, he's standing in over Mr. Fishay, which is a shame because I really wanted to see him this week, but, you know, we'll live, right? Standing in over Mr. Fishay on Attack on Elder Titan. Also,
Yep, this hero's back, ladies and gentlemen. Get ready to see it everywhere.
Yep. Attack on Elder Titan won the coin toss, but elected for first pick.
Iceman wants his first pick DP, what can I tell you?
Yeah, he's gonna definitely have a very Death Prophet focused lineup here, so it's definitely gonna be some sort of building based around this. Or maybe we're gonna have some sort of building based on the 4th overall pick, which is very strong pick. I think probably the most underrated in the entire lineup, in LD2L at least.
Axe first pick, okay.
Yep. I think Axe as a first pick ain't bad if you're going to be doing something around him. Like, who counters Axe just in the world? It's like, you got Viper, and that super sucks.
Necro, maybe.
You got, yeah, Viper, Necro, which, I mean, Necro's almost a who fires first kind of situation, because if Axe gets the Q on Necro, it really sucks to be you. But, even if you know, have your Ghost Shroud up, you're still vulnerable to your ult to Axe ult, for example. But Battle Hunger. It is not as bad as most who fires first situations for Necro. It's not the most ideal. It's like you got Viper, not many people, and you got Snapfire too. Snapfire Axe a good combo. Axe isn't going to be able to hold you long enough for a Snapfire ult to get off in full, so you're definitely going to want some other type of stun. But it's definitely a good setup here, and the Snapfire Cookie is also going to be a good bootleg Blink Dagger for Axe until that comes online if he, for example, has a bad lane, so it's good insurance. Some interesting personnel in this lineup. We've had Rabbit, who's actually Rabbi. Those of you from Fluffy Hat might be familiar with Rabbi. Those of you who aren't might know him as Cranberry Sprite's older brother. We haven't seen a lot of Rabbi on Attack on Elder Titan. That'll be interesting to see. We might also be seeing some role
older brother? That's a surprise.
Well, yeah, how could anybody possibly be younger than Cranberry Sprite?
Radiant team.
Oh, true.
Invoker, Iceman, let's go.
Iceman Invoker, again, coming out really early. It's a very big sign of confidence. Immediately banning out the Huskar. Do not want to see the kid Dynamite Huskar this game. And buddy, I can't blame you. Huskar is not the world ender that he used to be just a couple of patches ago, but he still ain't nice. And if you got somebody who's real good at him, you don't want to see it, ain't not a little bit of shame getting rid of that guy.
Oh, the world ender is a Faceless Void, so, you know.
Time Ender. It's a good world-ending hero if you don't have the ability.
If Invoker's on your team, obviously.
Yep, you ban it if Invoker's on your team. You also ban it if you're not going to be able to really secure the Roche lineups, and Death Prophet definitely makes that a very hard option.
5 seconds.
Yes, it's true. One of the worst things that can happen to a Void team is losing Roche.
Right, so therefore, if you have a Void team who's going to be able to secure the Roche bit quite easily, then you're really losing that option to deal with them. And, you know, Death Prophet, really great at that. Big Silence shuts everybody inside up. You can have that ult that really is not get easily argued with. And then, of course, you have the Invoker on top of that. He's got all kinds of crazy tricks to throw in there, especially before the BKB start dropping left and right. No Lifestealer, by the way.
10 seconds remaining.
A part of me kind of feels like this wouldn't be a terrible Lifestealer game for Ganker x Ganker.
I just don't want to play it.
But, yeah. If you don't want to play it, then I can see why you get rid of it. You know, it's one of those situations. On paper, Lifestealer into Axe sounds like it's really good for the Lifestealer, or good for the Axe, because, you know, he penetrates the Lifestealer magic immunity, you know, guaranteed stun no matter what. Except, A, he can't do anything if Lifestealer goes inside of somebody, and B, he's on that short list of heroes where if you hit Q on him, he's just gonna kick your ass, so, you know, you don't want that. Oh, Looter's out there in chat. What's up, Looter? You're one of the people we're really going to be looking at this game.
Man, let's go.
Iceman Invoker, again, coming out really early. It's good. It's very...
remaining.
1 second of past footage. God damn it. See, I knew this would come back to haunt me. In a very literal manner. Apologies for that. You should be hearing no more audio issues.
Sorry,
Luckily, we weren't
the
talking...
Twitch tab muted.
Yeah, I had to unmute the stupid Twitch chat to be part of the captain stream for 1 second, and then I was like, God damn it, I'm gonna forget to mute this. And you know what? I did.
Juggernaut ban is interesting. I would have thought that maybe Ganker would have been looking at that themselves.
Yeah, this would have been...
don't want to see it.
This would have been a really good jug game for them, and I don't know. It doesn't seem too great against what the Ganker x Ganker lineup has already, as far as letting it go. Like, I don't like Axe. I don't like Jug into Axe. I don't like Jug into Abaddon. I most certainly do not like Jug into Abaddon. I do not like Jug into Snapfire that much. I mean, spins
That's
away
fun.
the old,
Jug into
but...
Snapfire's fun.
It's like the big thing is where you're going to be in the light of fights. The Snapfire is going to be mostly focusing on ult, and she seems to be this game. It's like, she doesn't do anything to you, but you can't really put a stop to her. So it's kind of just like... So he's bad into Axe, he's bad into Abaddon, and he kind of has no interaction with Snapfire. Just mutual, no interaction. Yeah, that's an interesting ban. I wonder why. I don't think they would have banned out the Jug here if they did not have a good reason to think about it. Like, probably going to have more of a horrible against Jug hero coming up soon.
I just don't get why they'd be looking at two heavily magic damage heroes and ban Lifestealer and Juggernaut. It just makes no sense to me.
Like I said, the Lifestealer I get. Lifestealer can mess with this team comp decently well. I don't like him against... I don't like Abaddon into him either. I think he's got a decent methodology for Abaddon. Ursa, huh?
Okay, so you don't pick Jug in this game anyway. That's
Yeah.
what we learned.
I mean, hey, if you were gonna pick Jug, you can...
Against DP, I'm being honest. But well, against the other two heroes, it's fine.
So is it that bad against the support DP?
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
5 seconds remaining.
I think they got enough to deal with the DP with the rest of the lineup where it wouldn't be world-ending. But if you, I could definitely see that as being an argument against picking if you had a better idea in mind. But yeah, if you banned out the Ursa there, then this is still a pretty decent Jug game. I don't think DP is a big enough counter with the Abaddon and the Axe on the team already to make it world-ending.
Radiant team back.
Drow Ranger.
Drow Ranger and Ursa. Okay, this is one of the ways to deal with it.
It's a very interesting one. Drow Ranger, Kite God.
I don't know what the
Dire team
lineup
back.
on Ganker x Ganker is like. If Blue Jay is the carry, I know he's very, very good at that hero.
Yeah, this is one of the reasons that I really wanted to look at this lineup, because Ganker x Ganker is a really hard lineup to call what everybody is doing.
So we have no idea what Iceman is picking last. Like, it could be... It all depends on where DP is going. It could be like... That's another support, it could be a pause 3. We're really not sure. And Ganker x Ganker probably needs a mid.
I would definitely run an attack on... For attack on ET, I'd definitely run the Death Prophet support this game myself. Like, I don't know, I just don't... I think there are enough things that
Iceman doesn't play Death Prophet, so...
Well, Iceman
I don't think he does.
not going to be support this game, is he? He's going to be their mid.
No, I mean, I'm talking about... It's not mid because X
Right.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I think it's 3 and under club is where the DP is going to be, and I don't think 3 this game's a good idea. I think they have so much to catch her, so much to stop her, that it's going to be a kind of a hard argument to get her on 3 this game. I think the best place she could probably go is just 4 or 5, make it happen.
Dire team ban.
Imba Spirit is banned.
He sure is.
It was a Pangolier, which is interesting. So a lot of questions on Ganker x Ganker. You know, like even one of the most safe assumptions you can make. Kid Dynamite going mid. Well, I mean, is he? He's been making so many overtures to not do that recently. He played Pause 1 and Mage 2, and very distinctly wanted to play Pause 1 and Mage 2. He, when he was still going to be in Season 13, he was saying he didn't want to be a mid in that. Now, the real politic
is... like 5 mids in the pool, so...
Yeah, the real politic is, there's not really that many mids. You can assume he's going mid. It is an assumption, but it's not a guarantee, so it's going to be interesting. Looter, Looter has a fairly defined hero pool, but he takes his cast everywhere. He plays every role nearly equal amounts, which is interesting. Blue Jay is almost in the exact same pool. Everybody's assuming Puzzle on Blue Jay. It can most certainly be Puzzle on Blue Jay, but Blue Jay, we've seen good performances on Pause 3, we've seen good performances on Pause 4, we've seen good performances on Pause 5, and he ain't the worst mid you ever seen either. He could really kind of do anything he wants. And it's going to be interesting to see, both in this game, where we're choosing to send them first, where we're deciding to put our best foot forward, right? Interesting to see where we're going in this game, and interesting to see if maybe we do anything funny with that in the future. Got an Enigma!
That's fun. This probably makes the Drow a little more hesitant in fights.
Right. It is gonna... There is gonna be some difficulty. I don't think it's the worst Enigma game in the world. There's gonna be some difficulty in getting the Black Hole out, because it's like, if you get Black Hole and Axe is not in it, it's probably not gonna last very long, just to be frank. And there's not really anything you can do about that. I mean, the Axe Call, one of those stuns in the game that you just can't argue with. There just isn't really any way to stop him from at least getting you for a half second, outside of just not being in it. So it's going to be a hard argument.
You kind of need whatever we're picking mid here to be another MVP, right? Make it a black hole target. Okay. That could be a black hole target depending on how well he does.
It's also going to be another must-have in a black hole as well.
What I'm saying is that Enigma is great against 4 Protect 1 lineups because, you just black hole to carry. Kind of the same as Void is right now.
Right.
I'd say the Skywrath Mage is not the powerhouse of the mid pick that they needed.
It's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, it's... Is the Skywrath for the Enigma? That's what I'm guessing.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be able to turn the Enigma off. It's like, you absolutely guaranteed have to get the Skywrath in every black hole, or you're not going to be black holing very long. You absolutely have to get the Axe in every black hole, or you're not going to be black holing it very long. And yeah, you don't want to bet it. It's gonna definitely make life hard for that Enigma here. It's gonna have some scaling issues. What I hope he does, I hope he gets that shard, because I still want to see the actual sharding gameplay. It's something that I have no idea how good it's actually gonna be. So I hope he does it, even if it's not really that conducive to what he's doing. Just to see if it sucks.
Blue Jays is their win condition in this game.
They're definitely, very much so. It's definitely going to be who wins the fight between Ursa and Drow Ranger. I think on both sides, everybody has a lot of answers. I mean, what does Abaddon do if he has no mana? He goes ding and looks at you funny. What does the Axe do if he hits Q and then he just immediately has to start running away because Ursa's beating the crap out of him? Like, Axe into Ursa sure ain't good for Axe. Not one of the better matchups for him. So what does he do if you're in that sort of situation, right? It's a bit of hardware lag there for a second, is what we do. So we're loading in the game assets. And now we're live. Well, I mean, we're in game anyway. I think... Oh.
Do you have some lag issues there?
Prepare for battle.
No, we're just... Okay, we are having some lag issues. What is going on? Oh, God. Hmm.
Oh, very cute.
Good luck all, bad luck Manoy. It's not very nice.
Oh no, I figured it out.
30 seconds to
The
battle.
game is lagging whenever I hit G.
Oh, that's fun.
Which is my push to talk button. Both for streaming and in-game.
Or put on that open mic.
God, I think I have to. That's the worst part. Alright. Brief technical
You can
difficulties
open
here.
mic in game.
The battle begins.
I appear to have been disconnected from the game. That's okay. That's okay.
Wouldn't be an only cast without technical issues.
Should be able to reconnect here. Hopefully what I just did made that issue not apply. If it didn't, this is going to be a really hard cast to do, because I'm going to have to go on open mic both in-game and on OBS, so it's going to be kind of rough, and you're going to hear me going a lot. Which is not what you want to hear, probably.
Probably not. I want to open mic for now, so I'm not talking in game.
Okay, yep, that fixed it. Great!
Okay, we're back on it.
Yep.
Okay, we missed a lot.
Good night.
I've been watching this top lane because it looks like the most volatile.
Never
so
mind,
far.
immediately disconnected again.
Okay. I'll talk about the top lane when you get back.
Okay.
I'm also looking at the top lane.
Maybe if I don't tab out.
Maybe I should look at a different lane.
Okay, if I don't tab out... Okay, sorry chat members, I'm just gonna have to do this all game.
You've got nothing.
Mama fucking mia. Alright! Whenever I hit G, I disconnect immediately. There is something wrong with like my audio drivers or something.
So much for a push to talk. You just had to give up on it, my friend.
Yeah. Everybody talk about what's happening in game while we're doing this.
The top lane is a brawl a little bit. I mean, it's pretty slow going, but pretty much every time Manoy and Rabbi can, they just go on this Abaddon and hit the draw pretty frequently while they're at it.
Every time I've seen Blue Jay play Drow, he wins his game. He wins his lane decisively, like comes out like at least 5-0, and just snowballs off of that. So I'm actually wondering about his like ability to come back from a bad lane or a drawn lane, which I've never seen from him on this hero. Same with like his PA or like most of his carries. He is a good laner, and I don't know what's past that.
Okay, so we're in now.
It's more drawn than lost right now because Blue Jay's still CSing pretty well. Not as well as he'd like to, maybe, but he's pretty well.
Okay, this should hopefully be the end of that specific issue. I am talking and the game's not breaking, so that's good.
You open mic in game.
Yep, I'm open mic in game. I've also switched to using the on-off switch on OBS. Whatever it was, it's fixed now.
I'll switch back to push to talk so I can talk in game as well.
Wow.
That classic cookie call combo on the Ursa. Very nice.
Oh, we're actually officially here. Things are getting underway now. Manoy is really messing with this lineup here in this safe lane. I can see what you're talking about it with being volatile. A lot of pain going around here, and it appears Manoy is going to be a pause 3 DP. Oh, Axe is dead. Down into the deep we go.
So kind of again, you get a kill combo there. The Frostbite plus this 2 sources of slows. Pretty hard to escape if this lane wants to go on you.
Right. The interesting thing is, not only do you have you have a lot of ice going around because you got the Frostbite and the 2 slows in bot lane. You also have a lot of slows coming out of the top lane, but so far that hasn't really been working to their advantage, it seems. If the last hits and the death there are an indication. Or has there actually been a death there? I believe I might be mistaken on that. No, they're both the deaths so far have been in bot lane.
Been some close calls, but they haven't killed each other yet.
Yeah, no
Mid
formal
was
routes.
almost completely drawn until Invoker hit 6 for us and pushed Skywrath out of lane a little bit. But their last hits and denies are looking pretty even.
This'll come in handy.
Oh god damn it. You can see that Invoker's coming in at an XP level just above what Skywrath Mage is backing. I'm going to switch OBS back to push to talk at the very least and hope that it doesn't explode again.
And the thing about Skywrath Mage is that when he hits 6, he doesn't have the mana pool to be able to make use of that immediately.
The thing is, he's also a mid Skywrath, so he doesn't have like a stun with him. So you can ult Iceman, but like, what's gonna happen?
Right, you have a slow enough, that's it. You need somebody there to help you do the job. You need a rotation out from Snapfire or Axe or, you know, even a Baden to a degree, because, you know, Baden's also, well, he doesn't have Curse of Avernus level, so he doesn't have a slow after all, MVM. You need a rotation to kill the Iceman. Reverse isn't necessarily true. You know, at least have the threat of killing him maybe is a more accurate way to put it, because it's like, I don't know if Iceman's going to be able to kill the Skywrath, but he's going to be able to put him to such a position where it's going to be hard for him to fight back. You can see here right now the status quo is, you know, Iceman is sitting there. Iceman's at pretty low health. He's still got a full mana bar. Good Dynamite in contrast. He's sitting there with a full mana or full health bar, but he doesn't have a lot of mana. So he's not going to be able to pursue the kill here. Oh, missed a kill at bot while talking about that.
Yep, cookie call.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Cookie call is something
I didn't see that one.
Yep. Cookie is something that you have to Cookie call is something you have to do fairly well, as far as the execution factor of it. You know, like I said before, if your Axe, you hit Q, and the enemy team is stunned the whole time that they're in it, then what have you accomplished? Nothing. You just are sitting there.
Snapfire is coming in for that aforementioned gank on Invoker, but Invoker saw it and is running away. No, he just went for Rune.
Yeah, just got a convenient rune
That
there.
hit him. Okay.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
6th Sentry Ward.
Like I said,
No, second one, though.
Skywrath didn't have the mana for ult anyway, so...
Enigma thought about TPing in on that, but ultimately made the decision not to.
Yeah, I mean, Iceman's safe. You kind of only TP there if you think Iceman is gonna die. If you don't,
Yep. No surprise in doing so, just an observation that might have a factor in what goes on here at top as well. Certainly they're going to have to play a little more cautiously here. It would be very bad if Rabbi randomly died and just was no longer able to come up here. Instead, we might have Drow randomly die. It's a good use of the silence here. Baden doing everything he can to keep Blue Jay alive. It's looking rough. But the bastards aren't big enough to go deep. Get the Abam another more. Oh, if Enigma sees that. Nope, Enigma does not see the courier coming up. Would have been funny if he killed it with Eidolons.
should be able to convert couriers.
That'd be funny. Yeah, to Tengri.
We can Culling Blade them, so.
You can? That's interesting.
Yes, it goes on cooldown when it kills the courier.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
So far is in the wrong place.
Gets a bit of E-Hug on. Yep, almost dies there, but while she does almost die, meanwhile at mid, Enigma comes in.
Rotation by the supports.
Yep. Action going on all around the map. We need some multi-cam here. It's TI.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Axe pings himself.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Snapfire maintaining custody of this lane until Skywrath Mage gets back. I don't think with Snapfire's presence known anything particularly happens here, though Rabbi is gonna lose about half of his HP bar for being around Skywrath with full mana. We got some more 3-man action up top as Iceman is rotated up here, but ain't nobody home but Abaddon, and that's not exactly the price you want, though. Snapfire is coming in at an awkward time. This is really awkward. Oh, Drow Ranger with a gust. Oh, Iceman just barely missing out on that short.
First miss tornado.
There's definitely, this is definitely well done by. Oh,
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Ursa just. I thought Ursa was down here with the enemy team just randomly went in, but no, not quite. Dude.
Stop. Yeah, I came here a little while ago.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
The interesting thing here, you know, Gust in lane, it's always a very controversial decision on Drow. There's just a lot of people who, no matter what, absolutely will not do it. I mean, Tortellini says not to, after all. And in some games, that's absolutely the right thing to do. I think in this case, Blue Jay definitely did himself a favor on the leveling of it. Like, there's just been so many times that he would have been, either him or his support would have been 100% dead without it. So definitely good decision making there on Blue Jay's part. And he ended lane not doing great as far as the last hits go. He has been able to turn that around, so that the long-term effects of that did not bite him in the ass.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Manoy just eats an entire artillery strike from Snapfire.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Goes right down. This is a very compromising spot for Iceman!
Okay.
Gets annihilated there between every bit of magic coming at him. In the midst of time, you are but a blur. Actually, never mind. In the midst of times, haste. Everyone got that?
I was running down here. Looking for...
Enigma.
We're not gonna find anything interesting, but...
Yeah, I mean, not gonna find anything you should be a part of anyway. They're gonna try, perhaps, to defend this T1 bot. Manoy's gonna come in early here.
Radiant's bottom tower
Dire just kind of scatters, nothing comes of it as more people show up. T1
drives
bot.
these heroes away, basically.
Katie, you're a doctor, right?
Sure.
As
Just like Randy.
As the doctor of psychology, what's your take on how this game goes now that we're looking at the waning phase of lane?
I think Dire's a bit fucked in it.
Bit fucked in it.
Bit fucked in it. Hey, Blue Jay's recovering though.
Yeah.
Like this entire game rests on his shoulders, pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, Axe is doing really well for himself. He's top net worth in the entire server at the moment. Which is good. He's about to pick up a Blink Dagger here, which is going to be really excellent for him. There's just a lot of people on that Radiant lineup where if Axis blinks and hits Q, they're gone. There's also some people where that absolutely does not apply, like Ursa, probably most importantly.
I mean, Radiant has to start fighting because Drow is out farming Ursa right now, and Drow farms better than Ursa. So like, if they keep kind of this slow pace going, they're gonna get outskilled.
Right. I definitely agree with that. I mean, I would say that the matchup between Ursa and Drow is not as bad for Ursa as it looks on the surface, but it's definitely a situation where you want to get on top relatively early. I mean, it's not too late for him at this point, like within the first 20-25 minutes, right? You want to get on top fairly early, and you want to maintain that lead. If Ursa is on top of Drow, if he's ahead of Drow, he can be kind of a monster. If it's really hard for Drow to actually kill Ursa in time, then, you know, the bear's just gonna eat her. But if Drow starts pulling off wool ahead of Ursa, you know, that's something that he can't do anything about. It's definitely a very farm-heavy, scale-heavy type scenario.
So they revealed Blink on X there. Didn't do much, unfortunately.
Right. I mean, I don't think the surprise factor is necessarily going to be the big deal for them this game. It does suck to lose that, but it's like, it's more important that he has it than they don't know that he has that, if that makes sense. You can definitely afford to lose that here. Radiant is indeed trying to force those fights like you were talking about, but so far, Dire is not really biting. They commit quite a bit on a potential kill on Drow Ranger, but she just TPs to mid and lets him go.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Dire gets the T1 bot, comes in for the tower here. I do not like Radiant Saws in this tower defense, so this might change things a little bit.
Maybe EXO. Okay. There's a lot of spells going towards the button right now.
Yeah, he got to eat a lot. DP's gonna get away! DP has successfully gotten away and Blue Jay hasn't! Black hole on one!
That's a pretty big one though.
I do like the cookie on the Skywrath Mage in the black hole and nothing happens.
People out of black hole.
No, you can't.
Man.
It's funny though. You just throw the cookie at Skywrath and nothing happens.
Apparently, the tower defense went pretty poorly.
Yeah, well, definitely
Radiant's
worse than it looked like it was going to.
Fighting an exorcism, what can you do?
Well, in fairness, the fighting exorcism would have been okay, because most of the EXO went on a bed, and it's just they didn't actually kill her when they had the opportunity. And perhaps more importantly, no axe.
Oh man, yeah, if Blue Jay gets a kill on Manor there, that can be so different.
Yeah.
Instead
That's just a flip, like, that's just straight up, I thought DP was 100% dead and she walks away at like 10 HP type situation, which is really sucks when that happens to you.
Ursa covers all that ground back.
Yep.
That double kill there.
Yeah, now he's right on pace with the Drow Ranger. And it still kind of gets up.
Call on the CM is most certainly dead.
Yep.
I know what died in the world killer.
Skywrath Axe and Snapfire drop a 10-ton weight right on her head, and ain't nothing left of her but a little splat getting washed away by the river. I mean, that's just what happens when you're out warding sometimes. Especially against a lineup like this.
More. You're not finding more.
Colin Earthly just barely missing out.
Ooh, good play by Rabbi there. Kind of playing distraction and then blinking away.
Yep. I believe that was the reveal for the shard on Snapfire. Almost said fire now.
You fire snap cookie shard.
Yeah. It's like Snapfire, but backwards. Almost. Vaguely. Man, you know, for game one of the entire season, you really don't expect it to be this tight, I must say. It's 18 minutes, we're 7-6, and the net worth advantage is 2k, probably within 2k. most relevant people on the team really quite close to each other. Most of the disparity in the net worth is actually in the support line, where, for example, Abaddon is sitting on almost no money at all. But, you know, Drow and Ursa are 200 gold off. The Death Prophet and Axe are within 100 gold. The big disparity here is 600 gold between Invoker and Skywrath Mage, and even that is still quite a bit closer than you'd expect for a game going on here. Got the Crystal Maiden cut out, but this time there's quite a lot of fun in the neighborhood. Aw, that's sad. Snapfire tried to get Axe to go over the edge there. Gonna have a defensive Snapfire ult, but Ursa comes in through the back and immediately cuts that off. Blue Jay is here.
Ursa's dead.
Ursa actually does get taken out there.
Very concerning. Yeah, they have to back from this.
That was a bit of a crazy fight there. That looked initially like it was all like just about to be another pretty bad fight for the Dire, but really good positioning on Drow Ranger puts a stop to Ursa's dreams there. This is a two-man black hole, doesn't get the Drow just kills.
So Ursa needs BKB really badly, is what we learned from that fight. He was gusted, and that's why everyone died.
Yeah. It's also a very unfortunate
really
black
unfortunate.
hole. Tip to Manoy. Very unfortunate black hole.
It's okay, but he was too low. What can you do?
Also came out just too late to get anything done there, like.
Ursa.
Snapfire ran away, gonna die.
Yeah, Ursa takes out his frustrations on being gusted to death. Couldn't Skyrath silence as well. He was silenced by something, that's for sure.
He's gonna be looking at Blink Dagger here. He's judged he needs that more than he needs BKB, which, I don't know! I feel like that fight kind of indicated to me the other way around. Like, it seems like in this game, Ursa's gonna be able to position himself, at least in the initial part of the fight, so the Blink Dagger's gonna matter anyway, to his kind of leisure. I mean, you know, you're not gonna just let Ursa walk up to Snapfire and eat the ult, right? You know, so if he's gonna be able to do that casually, he's probably not gonna be that worried about his mobility here. But that BKB, on the other hand, is, you know, that was the thorn in his side. So I think I'd side with you over poor Blackacre here. What do you think, Katie? Katie?
Hello.
You?
I spaced out. What?
We're talking about if it's better for Ursa to go Blink or BKB at this point. He's looking at Blink. Randy says BKB instead.
Definitely Blink.
You think so?
You need a way to get on top of the Drow Ranger.
Yeah, he kind of needs Blink. It's a little unfortunate because he needs a Blink in this game as well.
I mean, in the last fight, he just kind of got into the exact position he wanted to get in, just walking up on them.
I don't know, he wasn't that near the Drow. Kind of the problem was that he was Skyrath silence no man's land there.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And he also got the Enigma to help fix you up there. Got the Invoker to help fix you up there. I definitely feel like the problem is going to be, it's like, what happens if you blink into 5 and then you just immediately get silenced and just dropped on your head, right? I guess really the core point is going to be...
The problem is that Ursa can't be initiating these fights, it has to be DP or Enigma.
And they can, is where I'm going here. It's like, I think Ursa can fight with BKB. He can have a chance to win a fight if he comes in BKB, if the rest of his team puts the fight in a good state. And in fairness, that is an if. His team does need to do that. But, you know, he's definitely going to need BKB if he gets Blink anyway. If that makes sense. Like, I don't care how much his team is initiating, unless it's like 5-man in a black hole, in which case it doesn't matter what the hell you bought, right? That risk is going to kind of be there.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Enigma looking to chase down the Skyrath Mage, and to say the least, it does not go well for him. Iceman. Yeah, that was a bit greedy, I gotta say.
It's kind of a Congo one, it happens.
Maybe he was thinking it was just kind of Skyrath alone there. I don't know. I don't know if it was, unfortunately for him, I don't know if it was a great assumption to make.
Regeneration.
the very least, and somehow we've gone this long without talking about it. They did get a very secure first Roche. Blink Dagger is coming up now as well. Was a little late.
I would be very worried if Blue Jay doesn't die within the next 7 minutes.
Yeah, you guys are ISA players. Tell me, do you think? We'll just call a spade. A 20, let's just say 2, right? Because I wasn't looking at the time scale when it happened. 22, 21 minute Roche isn't the best Roche. Is it like a bad Roche?
It's fine. It's a little later than you want, but I don't know if it's like horrible.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
Also, I'm not an Ursa player.
Pretend you are.
What you're aiming for is like 13 to 16 minutes. Like when you get morbid, you want to do Roche. It's pretty much how it goes.
Right. But when you get morbid and you can be reasonably secure and actually doing Roche.
Ursa with DD on the Snapfire.
Yeah, so you Snapfire alive.
5 shots, sir.
Died to it.
Eaten by the player. Dire pulling back here around their T2. Notably, the net worth disparities are starting to grow. Even though Ursa personally has had a decent time since the fight at the T2 jungle, the disparity between him and Drow is starting to get a little worse. You know, he's at 2k now. This is not going to help his matters. It's a good call on Axe's part, but this is an even bigger black hole!
That is so big!
Drow!
Dead.
Drow! Trying so hard to get out of here. She does go down. Abaddon going down to follow.
Ursa wasn't messing around. He just immediately went onto Drow, no hesitations.
Yeah.
Really good play from him.
That's what you have to do. That was sick. Rabbi, what a god.
Dire's middle tower
Yeah, that black hole was absolutely fantastic. The positioning, the timing of it, that was exactly what you want to have.
Dire's middle tower is under
And I mean, if he gets a black hole like that, every team fight, they're going to win this game for absolute sure. It's just a shame that's not very easy to do. He's going for that BKB now, definite agree on that BKB.
See if he buys the Mythril Hammer first, it makes Dragon happy.
Shoutouts to Dragon. Should've just let me play a bad, you son of a bitch. Shoutouts to Dragon, though. Kid Dynamite has not gone with the shard specifically to make me unhappy. But he has just murdered Crystal Maiden in cold blood.
Yeah, there you go.
I will say, I do feel like, the Radiant supports, definitely, especially in a game like this, definitely feels like the discipline on like when it's time to ward and the approach you make for it could use some work. I feel like, you know, it's been quite a few
specifically
times.
talking about CM here because the other support is Enigma.
The other support, I mean, the Enigma's not really warding. He's doing a little bit of it.
Yeah.
But it seems like the, you know, CM just kind of goes somewhere, plants a ward, and dies immediately. Trades happening quite a lot. Not exactly the most ideal, especially on a hero like CM where you got that trade.
5 minutes smoke.
I foresee the
does
death
not
of
see it coming.
Enigma.
Okay, good force. He's dead though.
Waste a little bit of time.
I said good day, sir.
So 5 minutes smoke only getting Enigma is not ideal, I guess.
Does get a Culling Blade at least.
Yeah, it's okay.
At this point, I think it's kind of safe to say the Culling Blade bonus armor is probably never going to really matter. He's getting about 1 Culling Blade every 10 minutes at this rate, which is just not going to add up unless this game goes forever. Or he gets like a fight where he just gets 5 in a row twice or something.
I mean, I'm sure the idea behind that smoke was, okay, Ursa's doing these camps.
Nope, Ursa was doing their camps. The most classic LD2L situation, I think, is we smoke into the enemy jungle and the enemy is actually in our jungle. There's that, there's Radiant T1 bot is the first tower to fall in every game, which I don't think happened here. And there's everyone standing around the Roche pit, really hoping that the other team tries to go into it. That's the 3 pillars of LD2L. And Ursa has decided to make sure that he's pleasing everybody involved by buying both
gets
the
none of
axe
the
and the mithril hammer at the exact same time.
Doesn't equip any of them. So there, he's an ultimate centrist.
Yeah, this is true neutrality. All the Swiss people in chat, listen up. Rabbi is a living, breathing Roche ward here. It's got a while to wait though, at least a minute to wait. And you know, if all the laws of reality have taught me anything, if you're an Ursa in a game like this, and you really want Roche to be up, he's gonna have the longest possible timer every time.
That would be funny.
A little bit of convergence here. Ursa's going maybe a
Ursa
little
might
bit
be walking
granular.
into
Nope.
danger.
He actually saw the split shot there, and
Radiant's
that
top
immediately
tower
tipped
is
him
under
off.
attack.
The multi-shot.
Yeah, the multi-shot, split
That's
shot is
Medusa.
Medusa.
Yeah. They have a black hole, so I'm sure they would like to fight. Black hole plus Exo. Plus freezing field. Can't leave that out.
Yeah, the freezing field has had some impact on these team fights. There was a fight that was up near their outpost earlier,
Dire's
where
middle
the
tower is under
Dire
attack.
outpost earlier, I should clarify, where the freezing field happened and got to play out for the most part before CM actually went down or was interrupted in any
5-man
way.
smoke.
5-man smoke by the Dire. I don't know how good their idea of where the Radiant is would be.
Pretty bad, it
It's
seems.
like, yeah. Yep, just going for the Radiant jungle again. Absolutely nothing in here.
They... Okay, Manoir. He's gonna show on this wave. It's a little unfortunate timing.
I think the Spidey senses kind of started going off there. We got some
Okay,
rotations for this. They weren't actually able to get it the drop done.
BKBs.
Hack's just kind of hobbling around here. I'm not really sure what he's going after.
Oh no. Everyone's here.
Sounds there.
I feel like
North.
Dire could turn this, no?
Oh, good call.
Here we go.
That
is
profit
a
immediately
super-
going down. Ursa following. Iceman
what a
artilleried out of existence. It's looking like everybody here. Rabbi doing his best to try and leave.
Okay, so you called DP and Ursa and they both die. What a guy.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
He does go down for it, but that is definitely not a bad trade for them. And the advantage between Drow and Ursa, now it's 3k is in Drow's bank over Ursa.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
The rest of Radiant's cores come above the rest of Dire's cores. It is a direct sequence there. And they're all also nearly at the same spot. But that Drow is starting to take more and more of that that lion's share of the gold. She's going for BKB next. It's not doing great.
Radiant structures are fortified.
That was also quite a big investment into that last fight on Radiant's part. They did drop Exo for that, which means they're not going to have it for this. They do have Black Hole though,
I
so
don't know
there's
if
that.
you mentioned it, but it's very interesting that Drow has a blink, I guess. Since X is like blink calling in, she doesn't want to be left behind, she wants to get the most
Right.
shot out immediately. I wouldn't have thought of that myself.
I think also part of that is to help him position around the enemy black hole. You know, be able to enter battle more the way he likes to do so, rather than sort of in the more predictable way.
Radiant's
Tank for the supports here.
Both the supports. Both the supports and CM's courier.
Dire are scanning.
Ursa runs past the Roche pit, pops up on scan for half second.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower
T1 mid
has
going
fallen.
down. Dire starting to get some of their strategic objectives back. Notably so far,
They're running into the pit.
yep.
Maybe?
it's not be a bad time to do it.
Alright, they're going for it.
Notably, while Dire's been doing well for themselves in terms of, you know, raw kill, raw firepower, so far they haven't been able to do much in terms of objectives. So, getting even the T1 there, which is no longer quite such a tragic objective. It's a bad thing for them to get. So Manoy is going to Exo here. Gonna try them to force him to get out of the Roche pit. This could get really disastrous really fast.
This is a really good play by Manoy, actually.
Roche took way too long.
Oh, good call.
3 in the call, but only CM gets the call. Dyer running away from the Roche pit, which means Ursa gets it for absolute free. And nothing stopped Manoy from eating the racks up here.
Manoy the split pushing god. He actually picks the perfect time to do that.
Yeah. And now, again, you know, Radiant just gets to eat Roche for absolutely free, and...
Oh.
Well...
What a... rigged stand-in or what? Holy.
I think the swing has swung a little bit here. I think with that, we now have a very tangible advantage for attack on Elder Titan in this game. It's going to be very hard for the Dyer for whatever they're called. Ganker X Ganker. It's going to be very hard for Ganker X Ganker to turn things back around after this.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't
look
think
back at that play if they win this game.
That was the moment.
So big, I can't even describe. I can't even hope to describe to you how big that was.
The game was just, you know, right on the precipice. It was just going back and forth by these very small denominations. You know, Dyer wins the fight, but they're not able to get much out of it strategically, that type of situation. But that was such a huge... everything went wrong there. They just did not have enough damage to actually do the Roche. Which, in fairness, I didn't predict either. I did not think they were going to have such a hard time actually doing it. They did. We have a pretty decent Roche lineup. I guess if there's one big issue, Patton hasn't even gotten the 4th level of Curse of Avernus yet, which does not make things easier on him. See, I'm just going to go out of town here. They're just going to take what they can get, then get the hell back. Knock out CM there. Then retreat back to the Tower's protection. I don't think this is impossible to turn around by any circumstance. And notably, even though that was bad, the status quo is still being maintained. Drow Ranger still firmly on top of Ursa, which just kind of means in any even modestly fair fight between the two, things are just not going to go great for them. Enigma is...
Iceman and KD.
Yep.
Having a little...
Oh, that's a good call.
That is a really good call.
Not enough comes out of it in time. Nobody's very confident in that call, it felt like. Everybody was just assuming that I was going to get nothing. So the response comes in late. As a result, no advantage really being able to be taken out of it. Okay. The Ursa Aegis is going down. Three in Black Hole. Axe. Drow's definitely dead.
Drow's dead to neutral.
Oh, okay.
Alright.
That's sad.
I think it's fine. The Drow died.
Yeah.
It's good no matter what or who kills her.
These,
Again, the Aegis pop into the Black Hole. I think if Radiant's gonna win this game, this has to happen a 3rd time.
Oh man, Rabbi.
Radiant's middle tower is
we're strutting his stuff here. You know, Rabbi came into LD2L kind of unproven. I mean, people know who he is, but how many Rabbi games have you seen, friends? Probably not much more than we have. But here, he's definitely making, you know, for his LD2L first impressions, definitely making a big splash here. I think this is, in what would normally be a decently hard Enigma game, he's definitely making the absolute most he can out of it.
Didn't he play back in the day in LD2L? I don't know.
Rabbi? I think he had like one season.
Yeah,
quite
was it him who did that content? It was like the old guard or whatever.
No. I think that was Cryptic actually.
Well gotten.
I don't know. Someone did that content.
No, it wasn't Cryptic. It was
good.
It was one of the. He was like a season 2 guy. It definitely talked about Cryptic. That much I remember.
Yeah.
It's the first time I think he's really been acknowledged. Unfortunately, he's not with us this week. But it's the first time he's really been acknowledged. I do think that is somebody that so far the LD2L community has in general slept on with his return to form in this season. Invisibility.
Invisibility.
Enigma took it. They could definitely play with that Invisor in a little bit here. But they don't have their black hole for a minute though. Dire's all smoked up here. Smoked up. This time, there's a little bit of thought of, hey, maybe they're not in their jungle. All they're probably gonna get for this is supports. No, never mind actually. Okay, yes mine. Snapfire artillery comes down and CM is no longer in the game. But if that's all they get, like, what does that mean?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. They definitely need something more to come out of these smoke ganks than just kills on supports. They need to I mean, what the real deal is, they need to use the smoke ganks not for kills, they need to use it for vision, figure out where Ursa is, and then bring the hammer down on that, rather than just trying to kind of guess. Because that's kind of what they're doing so far. They're doing a lot of guessing, and so far, that guessing has not been panning out. Unless, you know, kills on CM and Enigma in the jungle are your definition of panning out, I guess. Quite a big thing to drop on just CM as well. Just the casual Snapfire ult. Cooldown's not super long on that, but...
Maybe it wasn't Rabbi who did that content. My confidence is dropping as I think about it.
Katie, can you do us a favor, look in community content and see who did that post?
When was this?
I don't know.
It's like the LD2L dropouts power rankings or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. Aeon DESC Draw Ranger, okay.
Does not want to get jumped again.
Yeah.
Aeon DESC is an interesting pause 1 item if you are like where the money's at. If you've got so much you can sustain it. Because you can just pop that in over BKB and really lose nothing. Just pop it in over
and
BKB.
LD2L dropouts power rankings by Ravi.
Okay. So it's a
Almost
loops and
Ravi.
loops situation. Got it.
Nice. So, as I was saying, the Aeon DESC on the pause 1, it's an interesting gambit. You can pop it in over the BKB and lose almost nothing in doing so. It is a very large expense and takes a backpack slot, but that's not that much if you're a pause 1 in a game like this. The real question is, can it backfire? And I think in this game, Blue Jay's going to have to be a little smart about the actual like use of it. I don't think he can just casually keep it out in front, right? Like, he's only gonna... if he leaves it in his, like, in the front of his inventory and he's not the guy getting jumped on, if they just hit Axe or Skywrath Mage instead, there's a decent chance that he just gets hit by just enough residual damage that it just, you know, it just pops in the middle of the fight and he's just sitting there shooting blanks now. There's definitely gonna have to be intellect involved in using it. It's not one of these turn your brain off and stick it out front type situations, but in that regard, it definitely still can be used. Feels like it's been forever since I've seen the Dire lane equilibrium actually good for them. Which, I mean, they've lost a set of racks, that much is obvious, but, you know, even the other two lanes, it feels like we've basically permanently seen the creep waves on the Dire side of the river. Why man smoke them, not the Dire? They circled their own triangle, and when you know, this time this is actually where they're at. They are going to run into somebody.
Okay.
No.
They pulled the trigger a little early there?
Maybe. Now we got Exo. Madness called that Exo super early. Rabbi getting blocked by his own team there, actually. That's a bit sad.
It's okay.
Gonna just eat a Batten.
Just kill the Abaddon there and run up to the mid lane.
Axe going for the blink, getting a little punished for it. A lot falls under Ursa there.
So many spells and items, yeah.
Ursa
They
does
don't
have
have-
himself Satanic.
I don't have Aegis for this.
No, they don't.
It's a little
Roche,
hairy.
Roche isn't coming back up for a super long time. Yeah, I think if Rabbi doesn't get body blocked in that particular fight, and they're able to get the axe out there in the Dire triangle, that's just disastrously bad for Dire. I think they can just basically force a win at that point. But because they missed it,
Dire are scanning.
and Roche ain't coming back up for a million years, it's gonna be a-okay. By the way, Dire are scanning. They do find Rabbi just standing in the Roche pit, which is kind of, oh my god! The scan disappears the second he leaves it. That's always sad when that happens. So it's kind of bad information in two ways. It's both not true that Roche is up, and not true that anyone's actually in there. So they just smoked out and wasted quite a lot of time to secure nothing. Those tricky scans, sometimes they lie to you, homeboy. Sometimes they lie to you. Katie, what do you think?
Kind of sad.
Has something like that ever happened to you?
Scanning Roche and no one's there.
Well, scanning Roche and somebody is there, but Roche isn't, and the person leaves right when the scan ends.
No. I can't recall that ever happening to me.
Well, it'll happen to you tomorrow then.
Damn.
Where's it going for Nully, by the way? Nullifier.
Interesting.
Which is interesting. Maybe he's trying to make sure that Ghost Scepters and such aren't a big deal for him.
Ethereal Blade.
Yeah. Just gonna force them to use that on him rather than on them.
Radiant will now simply walk to Roche, and Dire does not have scan for it.
Dire does not
That
have
is
scan for it, Dire does not realize it's happening. Dire is as in the dark as it gets.
Could Dire even contest if they knew it was happening?
Exo and Black Hole are both up. My gut tells me no.
No.
Sean has fallen to the ring.
This is like a super bad fight for Dire on the top hill.
Unfortunately, it's a super bad fight for Dire even uphill because
That
now
might
we
be a
have
bad
two.
fight uphill as well.
Now we
It's
have
just
two
that part.
Exos. Tro's got that Aeon disc, which will let her survive the first Exo. So there's that at least.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Exo number 1 going right out on the tower here.
So. We're gonna
That's
need a
happened.
bunch of spells here.
That's happened so many times. The whole axe blinks onto the Death Prophet. She just walks away at the perfect time. Aegis
Okay,
is still up. Going down right now. Black Hole on Just Drow alone. Aeon Disc comes out
The
there.
timing wasn't right this time. Ursa wasn't close enough, he blinks
It's
in
okay.
anyway.
It
Radiant
does.
structures are fortified.
That is looking very possible. He's
She
dead.
does have buyback.
Dire's middle barracks are under attack. Dire's middle
Lenore?
barracks.
Go buyback. Exo number 2 coming out.
Oh man.
Iceman almost dies
So
to the Drow alone.
tense.
Mid-racks are going down. They've lost mid-racks and they've lost the T4 in the light of this. And they've got nothing. Almost lost the Skywrath Mage there to DP alone. Radiant want to end it all right now. I don't know if they need to. I think they can actually just be patient on this and not lose anything.
Dire's bottom
Enigma
tower
has so much gold, he
Why
could
couldn't
almost
he-
buy a refresher roll.
In rage.
Dire's bottom tower
Is he
has
dead to the
fallen.
Skywrath ult? Not ult. Spell. He's Q.
He's got one! Hit one! Oh my god, this still wasn't enough!
You could have pressed Q, I don't know, it's a bit of a grief. What
Yeah.
can you do?
He does have that in rage, so yeah, he could have kicked Q there. That Ag Shard.
You forgot, what can you do?
So while they got Ursa, and that is a big deal, they lost a hell of a lot in the light of doing so. They lost a full Anal Rex, they lost a T4 tower, and they lost buyback on the Drow Ranger, and while all that was happening, they also lost their bot T3. They've got one tower up on the entire map, and they've got a lot to push into on the other side. Basically, if there's going to be any victory for Kid Dynamite in this game, and and to be blunt, that possibility seems to be slip-sliding away a little bit. They need to get a decisive fight without waste all the ults. I don't think you're just going to... Like, at this point in the game, they're just guaranteed going to have buybacks, so it's not like you can just knock out the Enigma, right? They're going to need to have a decisive fight where all the big ults and whatnot are used on the Radiance part. Somehow win that. Go bot, you know, take T3, and then win in that time. Like, there's no hope. There's no hope of just, like, taking this into a slow war, taking back the racks, and just going from there. It's just... They're just not going to win. They just simply do not have enough strategic...
just now got Refresher.
And yeah, Enigma with that Refresher up. Refresher
like
BKB.
Now's the time to just force it.
Death Prophet also just finished Refresher Orb, for that matter. Which is going to be, you know, twice as big on her, because he's also got that BKB. Versus saving quite a lot of money here. He has 3k saved up, which is covering his buyback mostly. I do wonder if he's going to keep that, or if he's just going to try and end things now. I do think if the Kid Dynamite team gets Mega'd, I just don't think there's like any kind of comeback. It just takes so much money off the map for Drow, and at this point it's clear that Drow alone isn't going to win the game unless circumstances are fantastic.
Smoke.
Yep.
Looking for something.
Current triangle.
They go
walk
down here.
in. No, bro, not like this.
CM tanks it. Okay.
Black hole coming out.
Black hole number 1.
Refresher orb popped, but he doesn't have enough mana to keep going.
Not that it seems to terribly matter.
Yeah.
Should have died with my family.
Oh man, there's
Only
someone gonna
Abaddon
die.
survives. We do have
Someone's on
buybacks.
here.
Only live ice.
Drow, no buyback.
Yeah, Drow. That was Drow's dieback, in fact. So. Yep. Refreshes the XO. Axe actually gets her with the taunt that time.
Doesn't do anything.
Second BKB comes out on the Death Prophet, who's just trying to,
yeah.
they're trying to keep them the base here. Ursa looking to finish things off. Ancient slowly. My god, they're gonna glyph it? Come on, guys! And finally, the second black hole comes out. Everybody alive is in it. Everybody alive is dead.
Rabbi ends the game.
What a big performance for Rabbi this game.
Well deserved.
There was so many times in the early game where it looked like the Dire was going to take a major advantage in this, but they didn't. They couldn't.
I've never, not once in my life, seen a Drow Ranger that far ahead and lose.
Well, there's a first time for everything, isn't there? Ooh. Well, for those of you watching at home, we're going to go to a black screen now, and you're not going to see nothing. For those of you on stream, there will be no... Well, actually, for those of you on stream, that's what you're going to see. For those of you at home, we'll just go back to next episode.